you guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about the Crunchi moms, maybe even some trad wives. What MLMs are they into? Well, I found them, and we're going to start off with one that's actually called Crunchi with an I. And I came across this group because one of the Crunchi groups that I got into when I was still like considering myself a Crunchi person, I've kind of distanced myself from that because of how out of hand it can get. I saw it be suggested dozens and dozens of times whenever someone in the group would ask for a cleaner makeup brand that they could try. And I looked into it myself because, like, sure, I maybe I would try it too. But it was an MLM. Another one that they would mention would be Beauty Counter, but I didn't find a whole lot of trad wives loving Beauty Counter. Beauty Counter is barely on my radar. Like, it's not that girl. It's not even worth talking about right now. I wanted to put this in here as a reminder that Beauty Counter shut down its MLM sphere. Well, like that's what everyone was thinking because of how they put it. And then they're like, hey, no, JK. And I'm going to let you hear it from this rep who is also a doctor shilling MLM on the internet. What exactly is going on with Beauty Counter, and I'm shocked that she's even still giving them the time of day based on what we're going to hear in this video.
Beauty Counter update. I caught up on things at the end of my workday and after I came home, and update while I'm cooking slap. So my last update that I sent out though, just via email, was Beauty Counter was basically on pause due to foreclosure with Mun Business. Greg, the original founder and CEO, forming a new company to buy out the majority of the assets, basically. Well, we found out today, because they were trying to stay hopeful that it would open early May. We found out today that it might open Q4. The email that got sent out to all of you customers, and I got a copy of it myself, I think is very generic, and honestly, I think gives false hope. I don't know if it's coming back, genuinely. And if it does, I think it's going to be in a very different capacity. My gut says that it's not coming back, but that's my gut. There are a lot of obstacles in the way. And even if it does come back in Q4, I don't know if I will be able to serve you as a direct consultant to the company. We quite literally just found this out today when I partnered and joined with Oliveda in January.
Something that I think is interesting to note with this rep is that she is in two essentially beauty MLMs. Now, Olive Tree, Oliveda, seems to be more skincare based, and Beauty Counter seems more about makeup. And maybe that's why she hasn't gotten in trouble yet. But I think it's interesting that she's been in Beauty Counter for at least since 2022 and is still going. So or maybe 23, since at least 2023, I'm not sure, and hasn't gotten in trouble yet. Yet we saw what happened with the Monat girlies. Interesting. And I'm going to show you some posts that I found from distributors on the Crunchi Instagram page and some stuff. We're not going to do a bunch of website walkthroughs, but I do want to show you what we're working with when we're talking about these MLMs. And we're starting off with Crunchi. So when I went through like looking for tea, like kind of what this company is about, I found a post where an ex-rep was saying that the products were not 100% synthetic free. And if you know anything about the Crunchy Girls, they want the purest form of whatever, because if it's all natural, then it must be good for you. And that's just the logic there. I'm kidding. Not all crunchy people think that way. I forgot my straw. So the rim of this cup is going to get disgusting. And then I just wipe it on my legs. Yeah, okay. The second thing that I want to talk about, and I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see, is the shade range for their foundation. It's pathetic. I think it's a couple shades less pathetic than Monat's foundation range, but pathetic nonetheless. How in 2024 do you have an existing makeup line with such a pitiful range of shades? Like I honestly, did nobody learn anything? The foundation comes in 11 shades. Wow, people's skin tones only come in 11 shades. Oh my God. And I wonder if any of them are even, we can see that they don't go deep enough, but I also wonder if they have olive tones or like any of the ones that are harder for people to find who basically don't look like me. And if you remember, Monet only has 9 shades. I know there is the company, what's the company called? I forgot what it is, but there's a company right now going through it on the internet. They're being held accountable right now on the internet for their weird formulation. And I did see some people saying that it did match other creators perfectly, but I think most people, it seems like, are outraged because this foundation was black paint essentially. From what I saw people saying, they felt like it was black paint. And I saw an artist mix it with, I think, another shade and it turned gray. Just take people's humanity away, why don't you? And their concealer only has 6 shades. What are you gonna do with that? I think even I would have trouble finding the actual correct foundation. And I think if you have to mix foundations, just go to another brand. That's what I would do. But on their website, they claim to be toxin free. And while that might be true, depending on what you subjectively consider to be toxin free. They also have a ban list, and I've seen several MLMs have a ban list. I think it was Arbonne, if I'm remembering correctly, that had items on the list that wouldn't even be in their products anyway at the time. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but when I started watching anti-MLM videos, someone in the anti-MLM community, before I even started making videos, was talking about how there were things on the list that's like, it's not some sort of bragging, right? Just why would that be in your lip gloss kind of thing? Oh, and I love, if you get a look at this video, look at the no pigment payoff there. But imagine spending this much on your eyeshadow for it to have no pigment payoff. That's embarrassing. Like, untag yourself from that video. Well, and maybe don't, because we need to be more honest in MLM. MLMs need to be more honest and transparent. So how can I say that if I'm saying untag yourself? But it is embarrassing that they can charge this much for an eyeshadow that you can't see. You can't see it. And I know some makeup brands, their intention is to be more natural looking, like very subtle. I get that. I don't think this is what this brand is trying to do specifically. Tower 28, Tower 21. That's the one that I've seen some of their products are supposed to look more barely there. But let's take a look at their SPF as we're getting into the hotter month. It's already hotter than hell here in the Bible Belt. I'm not having a good time. I'm not enjoying myself. Crunchi wants you to give 42 of your hard-earned dollars for 3.8 fluid ounces of sunscreen. Not for your face, for your body. Oh my God. I understand if you are crunchy and you don't want to use copper tone. So might I suggest using something that is comparable that I found on Amazon? I haven't tried it, but I also haven't tried Crunchi because I'm not that crunchy anymore. Okay. I try to find fragrance free stuff, and that's kind of where that ends. But I found one on Amazon. If you want to give it a go, maybe you can even return it. You'll have to check their policy, but Bragg's fragrance free SPF. Why not give your money there and save some of it at the same time and not feel pressured into rebuying it if you don't want to? And then you also have nobody following up with you every month, desperate for you to line their pockets for them. And that one, while I think it is still a little bit pricey, it's 15 something bucks for 3 ounces. And I think that is quite comparable for what you're going to be getting with Bragg's versus Crunchies. But again, it depends on what you are crunchy about. One thing I'm not clear about when I was looking around on their website is when they talk about the money back minus shipping and handling. I'm a little confused on the verbiage, but I don't like to interact with these reps, I'll be honest, because I don't want to start an internet beef. People get so out of hand on the internet, and I would rather just not deal with it. So what does that mean? The money back guarantee, but you're going to pay for the shipping back? I'm out. I'm out. That, like, if I can't go get it at a store where I can return it or buy it online and return it for free, I don't want to have to pay for shipping back. Honestly, it's 2024 and that is how I make most of my decisions. The last thing that I wanted to show you from the Crunchi website itself is this gem right here. $10 for a pencil sharpener. Are you okay? Who's ever making the pricing, are you quite all right? Do the refs earn money on a $10 pencil sharpener? I hope they do, because when I was in MLM, sometimes we didn't earn that much, if at all, when the stuff was so cheap. And that kind of pissed me off because a lot of people aren't looking to spend egregious amounts of money on something they don't actually need. I don't know where the pencil sharpener I bought, I think probably during high school, ended up, but I probably still have it somewhere. But you don't need to rebuy a bunch of pencil sharpeners. I can't imagine how special Crunchi's pencil sharpener actually is, no matter how they try to spin it. Because if you're like me, we're going to the Dollar Tree to get a freaking pencil sharpener. Wherever I can get it cheapest, that's where I'm going. I don't need a $10 pencil sharpener. Oh my God, please. Do they actually sell those? I want to know how many of those people are actually selling. And the last thing I want to touch on for Crunchi is when you go to their bio on their Instagram page, they have a shop here option. Shop here, but it's an MLM. So why are they broadcasting a public link for people to join and buy products and not leave it how I've seen a lot of MLMs do, where they don't have the links in their bios so you can easily go find it because they want you to buy through a rep. So kind of funny that this MLM is, I feel, throwing them under the rug. But I wonder if maybe if they do get an order from the public website, maybe if they assign that to a rep or something, if they have some sort of system, that would be great. Because if it's just going to the company and the company is just getting like easy money from that without having to pay out a rep, to me, that's doing them dirty. Moving on, I did say I was going to do a shallow dive, and it's not going to be a huge, deep, insane shallow dive. This is the Crunchi video, and I think it kind of goes with Crunchi because a lot of people in Olive Tree, that's the one we're talking about now, do consider themselves to be Crunchi or finding cleaner products for their family. You get it. If you watch one of my latest videos, there was a number of top reps that were terminated from Monat and went over to Olive Tree. Can you guys hear my husband doing dishes in the back? It's so cute. He's just in there doing his little thing. One of their favorite bragging points is waterless skincare. I don't care if my skincare has water. What an easy base for all the other things you're going to put in a product. Because why use water when you can just put a bunch of oils on your face? When I was snooping for tea on the internet for this company, I came across someone who has the word doctor in their username. And this is someone who went from Beauty Counter to Olive Tree. And at some point was also in Modere, but maybe she was in Modere while she was in the other two MLMs. The timeline seems a bit jumbled when I was looking at this person's feed, but I want you to think about something. You go to the doctor, whatever kind of doctor you're seeing that day, and you find out that they're selling MLM products. Now, I personally, if I found out my doctor was selling MLM products, would know that there could be an ethics issue there and possibly some ulterior motives, because I do feel like when you are a rep for an MLM, ultimately, every interaction you have, you would love nothing more than for it to end in a sales pitch or someone joining your team. And I would not want any kind of healthcare that I'm getting to possibly be in jeopardy or questioned or not feel like I'm on the same page or the right comfort level with my doctor because of an MLM getting in the way. And to me, that would be a huge issue, let alone if a doctor brought up selling MLM products. Now that I think would be reason to report to someone. And finally for this one, look at this picture. What was the goal with this photo? So they have one product that's turned around so you can't see the label, I'm assuming, or maybe they just weren't thinking when they were taking the pictures. Maybe it was a low budget photo shoot, maybe a little DIY action since they aren't one of the bigger MLMs. But to me, telling me that the packaging is their packaging too flimsy? I know sometimes brands use really thin plastic and I hate it. I hate it. It's so flimsy. Just use some other medium to make your product. Glass is really nice. Glass will get you. Crunchy, maybe take a tip. But I think especially if you're going for the crunchy people, because if you hot pour something into plastic, well, isn't the plastic going to leach out into the product? Forever chemicals, that's going to be on your largest organ forever. Or is the product so oily that you can't get it to stay when you're putting it? Not that people want to be putting essentially dry ass toothpaste all over. But this is so messy. It's just giving either incompetence, bad packaging, or it's too hard to figure out how to use the product so it just gets everywhere. And who wants to deal with olive oil getting everywhere and ruining your stuff? Have you ever tried to get out a grease stain? That's annoying. I bet these reps have loads of grease stains if they're applying products like this gal pal in the photo. And I am not blurring her face because this is on the corporate page. And I don't know that this girl is a rep, so that's why I didn't blur her. So I actually didn't realize how much I had to say about Crunchi and olive tree people. So I'm actually going to cut the video off there. So what did you guys think? Have you heard of either of these companies? Are you aware of what's going on with the mass exodus from monat to olive tree people? Oliveda, what's going on? Hello. If you have commentary for the class, leave that down below. If you like this video, give it a little like poo. And if you super like this video, share it with your besties. And make sure you are subscribed so you get to see all of my videos. Thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one.